So let's get right into it, bro. Obviously, when this episode airs, everybody will be on the rise and excited about Philly and Dallas. Give me your thoughts. What should we expect? What's realistic? Do you even see Dallas having a chance without, 11 and Michael Parsons? And talk to us about that.
Blowout, beat down, bludgeoning, beheaded. I mean, I could keep going. I mean, it's gonna be ugly. I think the Eagles are the best team in football. I don't think, especially roster-wise, I don't think it's particularly close. I was looking at the Cowboys roster today. Nobody scares you defensively. You know what it is. When you go into your Monday or your Tuesday meeting and you look at the scouting report and you say, like, who's the one guy I need to be afraid of? Defensively for the Cowboys, they don't have that person. Deron Bland, Trevon Diggs are still yet to play a game at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, because Diggs was hurt, Bland was hurt. So those two players are scary adjacent, but the Cowboys do not have a defensive player that puts any fear in your heart just yet. I do believe a Sam Williams, maybe a Kenneth Murray, those guys might be able to ascend. Trayvon Diggs, we'll see what he's like coming off an injury. But they don't have anybody that puts no fear in your heart. Then offensively, they're cool. CeeDee Lamb, dude. George Pickens, dude. Offensive line, Tyler Smith, solid. But nobody scares you. And to me, the game of football is about who is scary. Who is scary? Who do I have to make sure I am watching? Who is a game changer? Like, who is somebody that really can change the outline of a game? I don't think the Cowboys have that defensively, bro. I think it's going to be a wrap. I think it'll be over by mid-third quarter.
Man, that's tough. But do you feel like who came out better in this situation? Obviously, we're going to talk about moving forward, but who came out better, Dallas or Green Bay? I know Cam has some thoughts about, Dallas made the right move, and I'll let him express that on trading Micah for his reasons. But for your thoughts, who came out on top in this situation?
Realistically speaking, bruh, it's probably a lose-lose.
Why so?
Oftentimes you hear that phrase win-win. It's probably a lose-lose. Here's why. Unless the Packers believe that they are a Micah Parsons away from winning the Super Bowl, then them 2 first-round picks are going to end up hurting them. Because Jordan Love, I believe, is 26. He's still got a long runway and a long leash. Packers, with all due respect, for the most part, they draft well, especially at the top of the draft. Yeah. So Packers, them first-round picks, they typically hit on. Now the Cowboys, you got a couple first-round picks. The chances that those first-round picks become Micah Parsons is slim to negative, not even none. It's slim to negative. So realistically, probably a lose-lose unless the Packers believe they're a Micah Parsons away. If the Packers are a Micah Parsons away, I think the Packers are winning because Micah Parsons is a future first-ballot Hall of Famer in my mind.
I would say this, right? And you understand this more than anybody, Emmanuel, is you still have to play the game, right? Even if the Dallas Cowboys lose this game, which I don't necessarily have them losing by a lot. If they can find a way to keep this game close and to scratch and claw a win and show promise, I think that's all we're looking for here, right? Everybody, the pressure is really on Philly because you're being told that you're the top dog. I mean, back even when Jason Kelce was wearing his, Philadelphia Eagles uniform, their mantra was the underdog. Well, you're the top dog now. And how do you manage that when you have the target on your back, right? So I don't necessarily think that it's going to be a shellacking. What I do believe is that if I'm asking a challenge, the challenge should be on Dak, right? Dak, go out there and manage the game. Don't turn the ball over, protect the football, allow guys, your dudes that you spoke about, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, allow them to get off. Allow your way of saying, hey, take what the defense gives you. Now, there's beauty in not having a quote-unquote star. Why? Is because now everybody is trying to find ways to figure it out. Not, man, we got to let –
But Cam, what you're asking for, though, Cam, is impossible. And here's what I love about playing in the league, and also what I loved about playing in the league and not having been that good in the league is this. I'm a realist, G. I understood If Emmanuel Acho's guarding Greg Olsen, advantage Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
Period. And the game of football, it's about one-on-one matchups. So it is impossible, I would suggest, for the Cowboys to stay in the game with the Eagles outside of special teams blunders by the Eagles, outside of wild turnovers by the Eagles. It's impossible because it's about man-to-man. If the Eagles come out there and they come out there in 3 wide and Saquon Barkley in the backfield and Goddard at tight end, who can guard those people? What linebacker for the Cowboys can guard Saquon Barkley? And if Saquon's in one-on-one versus a Cowboys linebacker, advantage Saquon.
Yeah.
So what I love about football, and I also love about the fact that I could look myself in the mirror and understand the reality of football, what you're asking for, Cam, it is an impossible feat in my mind. It's an impossible feat.
Yeah, well, you still have to compare this, and you can have your opinion versus my opinion and everybody else's opinion. You still have to play the game, right? I don't think the Dallas Cowboys even is a man-to-man team like they once were in years past. When you have a Stephon Gilmore, when you do have a Diggs out there in a situation where you feel comfortable. Well, in this situation, you're going to have to look at Coach Schottenheimer to the degree to say that, hey, Coach, you got to scheme it up, right? And you have to believe that, no matter what I have to do my job. And I think more than ever, and on that roster, everybody will have that and know it's not a lot of expectations on the defensive side of the ball. So when we go back and you watch that film and you're supposed to be responsible for that A-gap and you don't get in that A-gap, normally you'll say, oh, man, that's Micah. Well, Micah was just trying to make a play. You see what I'm saying? Well, in this particular situation, everybody is doing their job, and you don't get that rep to say, or you don't get that right to say, Coach, I was just trying to make a play. Making a play, man, that play just cost us 15 yards in a chunk play because you're trying to be Superman or have a superhero type of moment. Trying to make a play can mess up the play, and Dallas doesn't have guys that really can make the play, so therefore they'll stick to the script. Go ahead, Peg.